totally forgot that we saw Children of the Corn because I was talking about it with someone and I'm like, wait, I saw that.
Oh, the new one. Oh, I kind of forgot about that too.
Right.
I guess it really left an impression.
Oh, now I'm remembering it was they had the blue car. It was actually pretty good. It was not bad. The like
Turned
teen
the wait. Oh, the evil girl. They turned him into a girl.
Yeah. She was
Okay,
she was good, yeah. And then like
yeah,
they were talking
pretty good. It was a little. Oh, right now I remember it. It was a little too campy with the demon in the corn,
Oh yeah, I agree. But it
like in
wasn't
the old one, it was more of a presence you didn't necessarily see. Yeah, in this one, it was kind of
that's
like it
true.
turned into like a stick figure or something. It was an actual thing in the corn.
It did make it less scary somehow. It's like King Kong.
I know. It's like, oh, we're going this way. Oh, okay, I'm good now.
uh,
So,
I I was talking to a friend of mine last night. We had people over later. We had a fire. Uh-oh, what'd she say? Oh, I can't read it. Oh, in a minute. Okay. And she was like, "Yeah, the only Stephen King book I've read is Firestarter, and I used to read it with my dad." And I was like, "That's an interesting story to have only read and one to read with your dad." uh,
I mean, right? Is that because Dad wanted to read that one with her, or
I don't know. We didn't talk about why that one was picked, but she was like, "I don't think we ever finished it," and I was like, "Well, I have it if you want to borrow it." And so she took it to finish it.
oh, good. That's awesome.
I'm gonna send her the link to the podcast. I was like, if you want to see our insights at all.
Because our opinion matters.
uh,
Fire starters and yeah. I mean, I get it, but like, just blow it. Like she's so damn powerful. Like, fuck you, kind of the way I see that. But again, she's a 12-year-old like everybody else. So yeah, the movie was so bad. I don't even like talking about the book. I can't believe she left with Rainbird. I was so mad about
I agree.
that. Yeah, this part I was laughing like kind of nothing happens. Just do a lot of talking, except for the trip to the cave, I guess.
Yeah, but it's Callahan, and I love Callahan.
Definitely, yeah, and not because of Salem. Not even a little bit. I like. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. How long did she say? I have to go to Second and Charles and use my gift card because I think they're like raising that mall to the ground. So, like, well, I've been there. I think 3 times, and they don't have Song of Susanna yet.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
coming up.
Well, I know. Well, I have digital, so but I was like, do I
There.
need it? I mean, I have my hardback, you know, copy that I'm not gonna mark up. What's up, Allie?
Oh,
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Um, okay. Everybody ready for the tower?
yes.
Mm, never in life. Never think it. I just want to say do ya in every sentence.
I've definitely been like speaking in Calla speak.
Yeah, but nobody understands. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That sounds stupid.
Right.
Like, if there's some kind of joke, like, it's a tower thing. You wouldn't understand. That just make sure you like sound all snobby when you say it. Uh, oh, I guess I gotta look. I gotta start pre-planning better. What episode are we on? 60. Wait, 9? 69. Nope. We're on 70 because I split the last one into 3 instead of 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, I gave us an extra week to buffer. So we
Well,
still
talked
have.
a
So
long
this.
time last time too.
What was that?
I felt like we talked for a long time last time.
Well, right. We got 345-ish minute episodes out of it, so I don't feel bad. It was over 2 hours. I don't think this one's gonna be that long, but who knows?
You said this is
Let's see.
episode 70?
Yeah. 69 is scheduled for Wednesday. So. And I should start doing those introductions while we're all together because I always record them differently so they sound different so you can tell it's like cut and splice kind of thing. I think you'd really like to have to like Stephen King a lot to listen to us. We analyze the shit out of every story we do. So. Anyway, who's it on? Amber?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on.
Ready? Welcome to episode 70. It starts to get weird when you do this. Okay, so the second part of the second part.
So I'm writing a script this time. Here's what I have. Welcome to episode 70 of Going 19, the Stephen King podcast. Today we are continuing the Dark Tower series with book 5, Wolves of the Calla. And oh crap, damn it. All right, I guess I have to finish that. Finishing the rest of part 2, section 6 through 9.
Makes sense.
It's a lot of words, but
yeah, I think you got a little wordy in the middle.
well, I could say, all right, I could switch it up and say today we are finishing part 2, section 6 through 9 of book 5 of the Dark series, Wolves of the Calla. Oh my god, I said that wrong.
See, it gets a little tricky, doesn't it? Like, all right, so today we are continuing our discussion. I think how I word it in the here. I got it right in front of me. How do I word it? Finishes the first half of part 2. So finishes the today. Okay, so today we are finishing the second half of part 2 of Wolves of the Calla called Telling Tales. Up to I don't know. You can just finish it there, really, if you want. I don't know, do it how you want.
I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to say finishing the second half of part 2 of Wolves of the Calla, the 5th book in the Dark Tower series.
Good enough. Don't need to overthink it. The first couple. When did we start doing the introductions? We didn't even do them at first.
I have no idea. I couldn't even remember. Yeah. I'm like, we've been doing the tower for like a year now, haven't we?
It's felt like it at least.
Well, Amber, I think the first book, and this is gonna come up because I highlighted it.
Oh my god, I know. I'm like, this guy. If only he would write a book about
You already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of glad we did that one first, to be honest.
See, sometimes I know what I'm doing. It does seem to get referenced in like every other book he ever wrote.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if only this guy would write an actual book about it.
I know. Clearly, he's obsessed. Allie, we're talking about JFK.
Yeah, I did think like the mention of time travel and JFK's assassination and all that. I was like, I feel like that's a seed planted for the idea of 11/22/63.
He went back and read that later and went, I might have been onto something there. Actually, well, he said he had wanted to write that for a long time, but it was going to be such a pain in the ass. He just didn't want to take it on. And then I guess he got old and got more obsessed the older he got on. All right. Anyway, now we're like getting into podcast stuff. So
okay, are we ready?
Yep.
Hello. Welcome to episode 70 of Going 19, the Stephen King podcast. Today, we are finishing the second half of part 2 of Wolves of the Calla, which is the 5th book in the Dark Tower series. I'm Amber. With me are Ed and Allie. So let's start the show.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't like finishing. Well, if I split it into 3 episodes or 2 episodes, then technically today we're not finishing it, right? But whatever. Who cares? Logistics.
Semantics.
I don't. Right, those 2. Right. I have a logistics person I can refer to. Anyway. Let's start. I guess at the beginning. Alex, what are your thoughts?
I liked the tie-in of other things. So, like we were just talking about, what was probably the first thought of 11/22/63, the tie-in for the gunslinger. I wish he had said what the last 19 words Gran-Pere said to Eddie. That drove me bananas.
Welcome to Stephen King. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's not going to give that up right away or for a couple hundred more pages.
Of course not. That would
it's just so
ruin the
funny,
suspense.
like he's releasing a show a week at a time. Like, you're already going to give us the answer. Why do you do that?
Yeah. Well, and I was frustrated with this too. I was like, why does no one want to know Gran-Pere's story?
Well, Susanna got weird quick.
Yeah.
Like she don't want nothing to do with the Rose or the where else did they go? And she was like, "No, I'm good. I'll stay here." Black 13. Well, maybe I can't blame her for that. But
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they wanted her to see Black 13.
She's like not interested in stuff she should be interested, and I guess it's because she's mostly Mia, even when she's awake, but she doesn't know it. Maybe. But she's definitely taken a strange turn all of a sudden. It seems like. I guess because he got hit by a car, things are ramping up.
I know that was like the last word of this section, but I am curious to see what their reactions are to her saying she's pregnant, because I'm sure all of them are thinking, "Oh no, I wish you hadn't known."
Well, Susanna knowing, though, is different than Mia knowing, and I think if they had told her that she was, it would have been a very different conversation than her realizing, and they can be like, yeah, we've kind of noticed, but here, like, we sympathize with you now. Like,
they're gonna be like, what?
No
way.
I don't know which way this conversation is gonna go. Whether they're gonna be like, no way, we had no idea, or
how did that happen?
We've known. Like, come on, we've known.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. Like, actually, we were having secret meetings about whether you should know or not.
Yeah.
Like all of them in secret.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Jake's the only one. Jake's my hero. He's the only one that didn't break the quartet.
I know. I'm like, this. Why is he the most mature out of all of them?
Wow, how many of them have died twice? I forgot about that.
Oh, that whole section was kind of sad too, where he's like, "Yeah, you don't remember?"
He's like, "Which time?" Well, the second one. And he's like,
and then Callahan was like, "Wait a second, you could die again."
Yeah, it can happen twice. That's what he says. It can happen twice.
He didn't really remember at first, though, until Roland hypnotized him.
That's fair. That's a good point.
So if Roland,
and are you supposed to remember stuff? Isn't that the whole point of hypnosis? Like, you don't remember any of that when you come out of it?
Yeah, it's a kind of a plot point.
So now you got hypnotized and he remembers it all? I guess you could like cheat and say, when you wake up, you remember this conversation. In fact, I think he did say something like that, didn't he? Didn't he like say something like those exact words just about? Yeah, and that's a theme throughout this part, and I kept writing it down. Everybody's fucking keeping secrets. So, and did we? The whole time I'm like, every character kept going. Well, we can't deal with the baby right now. It's just gonna have to wait till after the wolves. And I'm going, come on, there's no way. This is a Stephen King book. Come on.
Especially because we know that this is not going to be on a regular baby's timeline. Like, there's just no chance.
Yeah. Well, babies don't wait for anyone in the first place. What do you think a demon baby's gonna do?
I can imagine they don't listen very well, at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
They probably do what they want. And it's probably going to be real inconvenient. I would think, honestly, that a demon baby would not have a like. I'm picturing Alien, where it explodes out of your stomach. I don't see a parent surviving a demon baby birth.
Ugh, I hadn't even
Or
thought of that.
seems
Ah.
really risky at a minimum, Eddie should be hoping maybe it is his. He's real convinced. It's like he grasped that straw and I guess slipped it. 'Cause like at this point, he's moved to the point where it's not his baby, no matter what. I mean,
Yeah,
there's still a chance, right?
Oh.
I mean, I guess if she has the
If
baby
Stephen
in
King
6
book,
weeks,
no.
then it's definitely not his. I guess.
Just based on
Yeah,
the
I guess.
behavior and the appetite, I'm like that. I don't know. It doesn't feel very
Well,
human.
he doesn't. Does he know about Mia in the castle?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if he knows about Roland told him about the other personality, and he now knows about the appetite because she ate the pig.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he did watch her eat the pig.
He was like,
Oh, I was
please let
hoping.
it be a pig and not a child.
What
Yep.
the fuck? Why did everybody go there?
Oh, especially about his own wife. I'm like, wow, that happened fast.
He thought that. I think Jake or Roland thought that. Like, why does everybody think she's suddenly eating babies? What the fuck is going on here?
Because it's not her.
Okay, but then we went straight to what do you call it? Baby side.
Well,
Infant side?
Yeah, infanticide and cannibalism.
like it's not like Susanna to do any of the things Mia is doing anyway, so it's not that much of a stretch, I guess.
Yeah. Although
Well,
it was
I guess
interesting, and I know I'm going last part, but when they went Toadash in New York, and she was still kind of Mia because she had legs. So I'm like, okay, what part of Mia was there and what part of Susanna was there? Because
she seemed like
if
she was
she had
Susanna.
legs, but
I
she
was
was
surprised
acting
by
like
that.
Susanna, what does that mean?
Well, and then she lost them, didn't she?
Well, she wouldn't go in to see the rose with them, and then she lost like 7 minutes of time.
Oh.
Oh yeah. What's up with those 7 minutes? Where was she? See, that's part of her weirdness. Like, why didn't she go in to the ropes? That's what you get,
All hail the rose.
right? I'll take 7 minutes every time. We better not come here too often. We might be talking, a couple hours before you know it. Yeah. I forget where the hell we were, but I like when Eddie and Susanna first see the root. I think it's Tian and Zalman, maybe. He like talks himself into this whole like soliloquy in his head. Like the most amazing thing about them wasn't their size, but the resemblance to the brother and sister. It was like looking at the clumsy first drafts of some ultimately successful work of art. They're
I
so
just can't
clearly idiots. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're so clearly idiots, both of them, and so closely related to people who weren't. Eerie was the only word. He's like, nope, the word's ruined. Like, I like how he worked out in his head what the word actually meant. I was like, oh, so there you go. Ruined.
I just feel like it's like unnecessarily harsh. Like I don't know why, like what picture he's trying to paint. Like we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is. Well, he paints the picture for sure, and it's kind of squirmy. Like, ugh, like
Well,
that. And this is after they screamed for what 18 months straight or whatever the hell. Oh my God, there's no way. Yeah, he is unnecessarily specific maybe in some of these parts. But hey, It was a different time. And the next significant thing that I thought, well, there's a lot of that in this. There's a lot of that. I say that somewhat facetiously, but because I think it's going to come up again before we're done.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
a couple.
don't forget, this wasn't written that long ago.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. This isn't like Salem's Lot. This isn't. Shit, this isn't even 20 years.
Yeah. Well.
What is this? 2005?
Actually, I don't know. Yeah.
2004, maybe.
Wow.
So I guess you don't get that pass anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, not really. I know he's talking about a time later than that, but I mean, the whole Callahan getting, attacked by the Hitler brothers, that was in the 90s still, wasn't it?
No, because he's like a drunk in 82, right when he dies.
Wait. You mean when he wrote it, or when in the timeline?
In the timeline, in the book.
Oh yeah,
I remember
Yeah.
his death is December of 1983, so it has to be before that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
I was going to say the 80s, but I wasn't
still.
sure.
So.
But
I don't know that
either
I would
way,
give a pass to the way page either.
he wrote it less than 20 years ago. Crazy that 2005 was almost 20 years ago. The next significant thing, like I was saying, different highlighter color I had to use was that Eddie is now 25, a year older than Cuthbert Allgood on his last day at Jericho Hill. You he keeps bringing up Jericho Hill now. He's starting to make me mad. Like, as much as you're talking about it, you need to go ahead and just talk about it.
But he won't.
Well, no, that would be easy. I feel like, that was where he was going to go next, but he just never felt like going there. Or maybe I should say not yet.
Maybe he didn't feel like he had the full story.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of maybes. Maybe he's too busy making it movies. I think maybe I watched too much Family Guy, but the one part he's like, then he's like, how do you do the land out there? He's like, oh, I plow my sister. I'm like, ooh, maybe that's not the best way to say that.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
Me too. I was like, okay, could have used different words, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I was skimming or something, so I kind of just jumped to that line, and I was like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah,
I had to go back and actually read everything, and I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense, but still, verbiage.
Right. Phrasing.
Yeah.
Who's plowing whose sister now? Full stop. Yeah, I think that's probably Family Guy and Archer's fault. And then I guess Eddie's sitting there daydreaming about Andy. He's like, "Why you have a robot? Why don't you have him help you?" Like, yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? He would actually do anything.
Yeah, I made a note about that. I was like, it's interesting. It's very obvious that Andy is not there to help in any like meaningful way, because he can do some tasks, but like he can't do any of the actual helpful chores, like to do the physical labor.
Yeah, and they're always like, well, he's not very helpful and he's annoying, and you start to understand how annoying he actually really is because he's not helpful.
Right.
So I'll read your horoscope.
He's
And they're like,
always
what? Yeah, well, he's except for when he disappears. I'm wondering where he goes.
Yeah. Well, and I like how they know that like he could be a really good means of
Means of what?
Hello.
Change your screen. I think he timed out.
How can you tell?
I don't know. I'm guessing because that's usually what happens.
Hello.
Hello.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did I lose?
Did your screen time out?
Yes, I did.
Hey.
That's why that's why you have a master.
Right.
You said one word. I forgot what the word was.
Well,
Andy,
Andy was.
something.
They were saying Andy would be a good means of defense because he's really fast, but he won't actually defend them.
Yeah, I don't know why they think Andy's gonna help them. Like, what's to say once the wolves come, he doesn't just shut down? Like,
Well, he
Or
must
help
have
the
done it
wolves.
before because they talk about him shredding whatever the threat would be limb from limb if like a bobcat or a coyote, I forget what the animal was.
Yeah,
they were
like
like,
he'll protect the kids from,
yeah,
hurting themselves or being hurt by wildlife, but when the wolves come,
well,
you know,
that's
what?
because I
Yeah,
just
why
thought
hasn't he
about
helped
that.
some kids?
They need the children alive so they can make them root.
you know why don't?
So
That's a
Andy
pretty damn good point.
protects them so
He
that they,
protects the kids just so they can get fed to the wolves,
yeah.
and nobody's suspicious of that. Yeah, and that's the answer. Though, I was like, well, he's annoying, but at least he tells us when the wolves are coming. And I'm
Yeah.
like, isn't
But
that helpful? I
like
don't
he
think he's
has
doing that for
anything to
you.
right, exactly. That's what I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
it's
I
like he's
don't.
doing it to build fear.
I think Roland even says that, and like a lot of good that does you.
Yeah.
Or
It's
Well,
almost like they're probably helping him because if they know the wolves are coming, then they herd the children because they're trying to hide them, so they have all the kids in the same spot. So the wolves are like, great, thanks. We'll just go right here and we're good.
yeah, right.
We don't have to like look around the town and find them all and dig them all out. You did that for us. It's like I mean I don't.
I mean, the problem is the same problem that they're having now is like everybody doesn't like the way things are done, but they're even more afraid of what happens if you change anything.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and fuck you, Evan Tug. I can't stand that guy. I want to smack him in the face.
The general store guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what? Like he's. I don't
I
know if
like
he just
the way
hates
Susanna
people.
deals with him, though.
Yeah, what do they
Well,
call him, Brownie? Like
like
I wasn't sure what she was mad about at first. I thought she was just because he was being a dick, and then she was like, and I was like, what word? I didn't even like at first. I didn't even catch it, and I was like, oh, he did say that.
also just the fact that like isn't what's her name? The Jaffords, Zalia or
Yeah,
Zaya?
Zalia.
Zalia. They keep saying that she's dark skinned too, right? So like it's not like Susanna's the first person he's seen.
I don't know if I can't tell though if Zalia is supposed to be like African American dark or like Native American.
I think it's Native American.
Yeah, that's kind of how I pictured it too.
yeah. I
I
think it's
mean,
like
I guess
being Italian as opposed to African, something like that.
well, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Well, there's some dark Italians. I should probably be careful.
Yeah, but you can have. I get dark skin in the summer. Like,
Okay,
You do get real tan.
I didn't see Zalia as I missed the part where she was dark skinned.
Well, they say
Maybe
it
I
a
just
few
missed that.
times, so I'm like, okay, I get, sure, but like, they don't. It's not like I don't know. I wasn't sure. That was my impression.
Okay. Um. Well, I guess she's not dark enough to be called Brownie.
Yeah,
It would be
right.
the answer there.
I'm
I
not
can't
bigoted
imagine.
enough to realize that I don't know. I would think that color is color.
Yeah. Either way, he's a douchebag. I don't like that guy. Like, does he just hate his life? Does he hate outsiders?
Probably
Just like,
all of the above.
yeah, this small town Stephen King. What are you doing here? You're like Rambo. Just keep it moving, buddy. Get out of
Plus,
our town.
he's one of the ones that they have to like. Who's gonna say no? Right? Wasn't they were
Well,
there's
that was my point. Like,
Probably.
fuck these old people who don't want things to change.
yeah.
How do you? What is your how, I don't know. I don't know how you think. I know your argument is. I guess one's better than two. I think is the argument, and that just doesn't work.
Such
I
an
don't know
ethics
how
question.
it is. Pretty good one. And I guess I'm figuring out what side I'm on. I mean, I could see maybe going like the first time, but like feeling stuck and agreeing to it. But I imagine I would feel like such a, especially after they came back and screamed for a year and a half. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, but you don't have to take care of them. That's the other sibling's job.
Right? Well, it is. Yeah, it's a double whammy.
Although that doesn't make. I just realized they can be as young as 3. Like that doesn't really work when they're still children.
Well, I don't think they take care of them right away, but it's, the parents still have to be the parents for a little while, and yeah, can you imagine that? What, like a 6-foot fucking 3-year-old?
I mean, that's basically what they are. Worse than that.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, mentally, I guess. Well, that depended on how old they were when they got taken, because
How shocked
the
they are.
teenagers were the worst. They didn't really come back all the way. What do you say? Almost like they understood what they had lost, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was almost like the younger you were, the better you were able to adapt, as always.
Also, not that we're necessarily going in order, but the store is after the part I want to mention where Jake sees Andy and Benny Slightman.
I haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
before Took Store.
I stopped at Jericho Hill. Oh yeah, I plowed my sister. I was talking about Andy and right, Directive 19.
Well, because so Jake sees, or Jake is in Mia's dream, Susanna's dream, whatever.
Right, I can't keep all her people separated.
He wakes up and sees Andy and not Benny, sorry, Benny's dad, Mr.
Benny's
Slightman.
da.
Yeah.
Benny the elder?
No, Benny the kid.
Right? Isn't there an elder and a younger?
Yes. Are they both Benny? I guess so.
Yeah, I think it's Benny.
Or Ben and Benny, maybe.
I think it's elder and younger. Like they call him the younger.
All I see right here is Benny's father, so I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name either.
And Mr.
Yeah,
Slightman.
so anyway, it's Benny's father and Andy that are having secret meetings on the bluffs by the beach or whatever the hell they're doing.
In the middle of the night.
Right. But it's his father, right? So
Uh-huh. Yeah, Benny's asleep in the tent next to him right now at that point.
okay. I guess that's suspicious.
It might not be.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jake seems immediately like, whoa, what the fuck are they up to? And I'm like, well, you don't know anything about this town. You don't live here. Who knows what? There's a million things that could be about.
Well, and I know, like, he tries to rationalize it too, but then it seems like his mind just goes like, oh, that's a shame. Something's up here. And I'm like, okay, something's probably up, but how do you know it's, like, bad?
Yeah.
And again, I'm sure Stephen King book, but
I'm sure he is very reliant on his instincts by now. So if his instincts are saying something's wrong, like even if he can't tell what's wrong, like he's still gonna be on the lookout.
Yeah.
How about Eddie jumping rope?
So yeah, cool. Some of these parts I'm like, what was that for?
Yeah.
A bit of lightheartedness.
Like they all have these secret abilities that Roland's a dancer, Eddie's a rump joke. Can you say it? Jump roper.
Rump jumper.
Yeah. Yeah. Put that over there with the plowing the sister part. Rump joking.
All right. That is the end of the podcast. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.